Alright, got recording in Titan Quest 2, which just got this. So we've got multiplayer, which I'm not doing, but the Forge Mastery, Relics and Charms, and some other stuff. The loot waiting, what that means is, there's some other things as well. But what that means is that we now have preferential, or a bias towards getting gear that is aligned with whatever your current build is. So that would be gear for the element. Wait, oh, okay. I didn't realize that we sorted them. Did actually say that they were changing something about the save system there, but okay. Didn't realize it was that. But yeah, so for Tempest then. And yes, I am deciding that at least for this video, I will stick with the original character and not make up a new one with Forge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So that would be that one of these, in theory, has been turned down or something, but this got added. Your summons have that. This is because Forge has summons. So they had to add these passives, but anyway, what I was saying before that distracted me, is my intention is, at least for this video, to do recording still on this character. I will then, next week, possibly, I'm not sure yet, make up a new character with Forge so we can see how that goes. Not sure on that yet. But I figure stick with this one for now, at least, because there's still the Charms and Relics to find and collect. So, yeah. Okay, I'm not... Okay, I'm not seeing anything that's really different. Okay, yeah, I want to come back here. So because I've beaten the game, and it didn't give me that pop-up, oh, I'm so glad about that. Basically, I figured go back to the beginning, but well, no, I will come here first. This is a route that I kind of like, I've used it before in the other characters. But it's also, because it's all basically skeletons, we got a good chance of finding the, there we go, seeing relics. Yeah, I think, wait, I don't remember which it is, if it's Charms or Relics that are based on enemies. But still, it's good number of enemies. That was just skeleton enemies, so yeah. Yeah, fine. Pick them all up. Oh, that's also true. Oh, they really changed that, but yeah, so now Relics and Charms will go in here. Yeah, they definitely changed up some of this. That is so weird, because I've got... This is in a window, so OBS is right here, and every time I hit this, it's like I see the slide thing coming out from the side, from behind this. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Another reason, by the way, that I like the idea of not trying to make a new character just yet is, if I wait a little longer, maybe I'll have the time next week, this coming week, to make a new character for myself and see how, and experiment with Forge first. I'm curious. I'm allowed to be. Oof. Oh yeah, there's now a chance for these things, chests to be trapped, to be booby trapped. Nah. Hang on, I also just remember there was, because obviously there's this to talk about. What else did I talk? Oh, yeah, saw that. Did write it up. But I do still feel like talking about it a little bit. So one of the press releases I got to write up this week was that 1047 Games is launching Splitgate Arena Reloaded December 17th. So very near. And I'm trying to remember the whole saga with that. With Splitgate, because Splitgate 1 I did enjoy. I had fun with that. Made sense that they would do Splitgate 2. They made some... I never actually touched it, but they made some decisions that I know that even from the outset it was like, I don't know about that one. That actually might be worth hanging on to. You know, boost his summons like that, because I do want to do a Forge character at some point. Anyway. But yeah, I had fun with Splitgate. And then, you know, it's like Splitgate 2, though, with the whole faction stuff. It's like, okay, I get what you're doing here, but, I don't know. Well, it did not do well. The game did not do as well as they wanted it to. And I don't know what the status of it is, but they, you know, not well, so they apparently decided, alright, back to the drawing board. Let's do something new, and now we've got Splitgate Arena Reloaded, at least coming up, that is to be more so the, like, okay, we learned our lessons, hopefully we will give you guys what you want again. So, like, one thing is, no more factions, which I do appreciate. I'm sorry, it is just, you know, going through the press release, is you're talking about how, yeah, we're going to try to go back to the roots of it being a classic arena shooter. It's like, yeah, good. Let me actually hit that. Ooh, there we go. Finally got something. Okay. Okay, it's kind of not what, but let's. Okay. +5 cold resistance. Alright. I'm gonna wait a bit, but I'm wondering. Okay, so that's how. So there's not an indication on top of these for how many they can hold, or that they hold any. Okay. Alright, +30 energy is... Alright. I mean, I don't specifically need it. But one thing that's also interesting about that is... Oh, now I don't remember. Was that the... Was it these things, or was that the other thing? In the original game, there was also something else... Okay, there were two things that would give completion bonuses. One was these Relics... The Relics and Charms. Wow. But there was also another thing. What were they called runes? I don't remember, but they were these orb things that you could equip, and they actually were, you had to craft them. They could be actually really powerful. And what was nice is that they were level dependent, but they weren't like anything else dependent. So you could very easily have one character make up a bunch, if that one character had everything, and then just put them on other characters as they unlock the slot. And some of them were quite powerful. And could really enhance whatever build you were going with. I'm trying to remember which... Maybe it was those that the completion bonus actually varied. It was random at the time of completion. That might not have been this, though. That might not have been the charms that had that. So it telling us what is there actually may be entirely appropriate. Fiery Ornate Ice Scepter. Okay. I also just saw the news that, like before I started recording this, one thing that I'm not sure how it may or may not impact things, but is going to be interesting. Netflix has purchased Warner Brothers. Or rather, agreed to the acquisition. I don't know if that is necessarily still going to go through. Some of that stuff is... You're dealing with companies large enough that the government might be like, we're going to review that. Yeah. That's how it goes. But, yeah, I mean, it's... On the one hand, I would trust Netflix as far as they will want to do stuff with the IPs that Warner Brothers has. On the other hand, though, it's Netflix with these IPs. They can't even get history correct. So, yeah, this might not be a good thing. As well pick that up. I just want to go back and sell some stuff before. Oh yeah, the Embers of Night have also been rejiggered, so we need to look at that.
Have you ever dabbled in?
Right. Oh, that well, that I don't know. I do appreciate, by the way, they've changed this up, so the contrast on the text there's a lot clearer. I do appreciate that. I don't think the red boxes are wholly necessary, but still. I was thinking about it. Okay, that's it.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
Stop! If you need good, admit it, but as soon as that's...
Alright, just gonna drop it down here. Now, let's actually have a look at this. Okay. Fitness of 190. I'm actually not that far from it. Agility of 116. That... I don't feel like committing that much of what I got. I'll still hold on to it, though. But it can, like, go here. But yeah, the Ember of Night thing. The Ember... Yeah, Embers of Night, which... Right here. They've been refunded because now, instead of it being... you just turn them in, she's actually a vendor.
I'm a scholar, a researcher. Embers of the night, fragments of stolen dark magic were the embers are no use to you.
Huh? I think I'll wait on that. Just, I mean, it says it's level 34, which is my level, so I assume it improves later, but what is... I don't feel like spending, because it's not like you get more of these. Okay, I guess that these two would be, that all four of these would be points. Yeah, I don't know. But still is, because there's a limited number of those. I don't feel like doing that. I feel like the chest might be a better use of them. Wait, what? Oh, okay, just hit scroll down. Alright. Yeah, Netflix purchasing Warner Brothers. I mean... Just a little odd, the language they have, gather your party. It's like, why? It's just me. Ow. just gonna start doing this for a little bit. If I'm moving, it's harder for him to hit me with some of the stuff, so I can regain the dodges. On the other hand, he can still hit me if I'm not paying enough attention. Oh, that also reminds me of something else that they've done that makes me very happy. Hang on. Nope, there we go. The, health potions now regenerate charges when not in combat. So right now, it would not be. Yeah, there's now a passive regeneration on them, and I'm so happy about that. I mean, not that I really use them all that often. Damn. Whoa. What the heck? I'm gonna force close the game. Because it be busted. Okay. Let's launch it up again. All right. Yeah, so with Netflix purchasing it there, and it seemed like what I was seeing was outright, so that would also include HBO and HBO Max. Is it both those? I don't remember, but HBO is being purchased as part of it. So those will be merged, and that actually is the thing that I could see there being a push for regulation on. That somebody might be like, oh, well, that's too much. And yes, there is that. I don't even have Epic Games installed on the laptop, so I'm a little annoyed that's even showing. But yeah, so one positive thing concerning all that. Okay, so he is there. So I don't know what exactly happened there. I mean, it might have been specifically because of my death. But that... Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'll just have to try again. But yeah, so... Also... So yeah, Netflix would have control of that stuff. It would also have control of a lot of IP. Because Warner Brothers is old and has a lot of actually very good and valuable IP. Like, they purchased DC Comics a while ago. So they have all that. Which we'll see how that necessarily works out. Warner Brothers has the rights for Lord of the Rings films. That's part of the reason why the World of the Rohirrim was made. When was that? Wasn't that long ago. Because they need to continuously make something in order to maintain that license. It's kind of like how Sony with Spider-Man and would they also? No, Fox was Fantastic Four and X-Men, where you'd see the movies being made, even if they weren't necessarily that good, it still re-upped the contract, so it kept it from reverting to, well, initially just Marvel, so then they could sell it again, sell the rights again, or, well, not exactly the rights, but the license, or later to Disney. But no, for Sony, so long as they make a Spider-Man movie every however many years, it stays with them. So if Disney and Marvel wanted to wanted to get back Spider-Man, to have it under their house completely, they would need to actually pay for it at the moment. Versus if Sony just basically abandons it, then, well, it will just revert naturally. That was trapped. So yeah, we'll see how some of that goes. It is. I mean, they got DC. That means that they could decide to make Superman black. It's like, no, Clark Kent has always been white. I'm sorry, but it's Netflix. You know they can do that. They could do it. So yeah, it's... Don't know. Do not know what all's gonna come from that. Does make me wonder though, should I start buying up some Warner movies before they have a chance of disappearing? Because one thing that they have had for a while, and I could see Netflix being like, no, we're a streaming company now, we're not doing that, is, oh, okay, good. But wow, I did not realize that would kill me outright. Wow. I saw that coming, and I haven't caught, like, the edge of that, and I just, wow. But anyway, they have the Warner Home Archive, or just Warner Archive, that they used to sell directly. Now they don't. But how that business model worked was you would have movies that they're on their servers, such that instead of the movie just being, well, like the Blu-ray being having been made, and then is sitting on a shelf somewhere for Amazon to distribute. Instead, it would be all right, we will burn this. We will burn the disc when it's been ordered. Or, maybe they keep some supply on the shelves, but it's a smaller supply because they don't need it to be a larger supply. But it would also mean, in theory, that they could have a much larger catalog of movies always available. In stiff competition with Sony, who will decide, we're going to do a limited run of this, all-time classic movie. So if you want it, you have to get it only when it's available after that, even though it helped reshape cinema. It's like, now we're going to ignore that it ever existed. I'm sorry, I'm just really... I don't remember if I mentioned it before or not. But Lawrence of Arabia is no longer in print. Well, at least not the nice 4K version. Because Sony is Sony and they did one original print of it in the steelbook. There was also a version just a plastic case, which I'd be fine with that. I was really hoping it would drop a Relic of Tron. Anyway, so they did one print of that, and then they did a reprint that I pre-ordered it on Amazon, but because it was a limited run, they ended up canceling that like 2 months, 2.5, 3 months later. Because that was end of August. I put in the pre-order. It was supposed to ship middle of September. They canceled it at the end of November. Okay? Now, fortunately, I had enough of that in the middle, so I decided, all right, I see it also available here. I just purchased it somewhere else at full price. It was more expensive, but I actually got it. So, yes. But with the Warner Archive, if they had that, then it's just okay, yeah, it might take a little longer to get to you because we have to print it up. We have to, burn the disc, print out a label, put it all in there, and ship it out. But it still would be always available then. So it would be kind of somewhere between like digital distribution and physical distribution, and traditional physical distribution. So yeah. This would actually be an upgrade, because it's 24% lightning damage, 22%. Yeah, well, I'm not using the weapon itself, so the weapon lightning damage isn't going to be an issue. Okay, and the cast speed, the loss of attack speed is going to be a little annoying, but that is better cast speed. 14 something. Oh, it barely made a change there. Well, in a way, that's still good. Um, that, wow. Yeah, let me look at something though. This one? Okay. Wasn't certain. But yeah, the burn on demand, print on demand disc stuff, I like that. It just, I don't know why they dropped the ability to sell directly. So you have to go through Amazon, and it's also weird because at least one movie that I know of that was on that, they're no longer offering. It's like, what? So, yeah. So you still have to try to find that used. But there's another that I might just buy that now. I do want it. It's a good movie too. Wait Until Dark. Very good movie. One thing though that they could do. I mean, Netflix can be stupid, so I don't know if I would trust them to do this. But one thing that would at least be interesting and not contrary to their interests to do would be if they built up that service and offered it to Sony even, because like Netflix in theory they have contracts with everyone. And they're not limited to just their own IP. They might be now. I could see some companies being like, yeah, you own Warner, why would we work with you? Then it is also Amazon owns MGM and they still work with them, so even for streaming. So yeah. Alright. Alright. I think I do want to keep this. I don't know if that's already up all the way. Okay. Now that, yeah. That's already up. What's the... I don't actually need either of those. Actually, you know what? This might be worthless at the moment because I'm not using weapons traditionally. Okay, so that should actually be good. Okay, let me, because as I said, that I'm not using weapon attacks. And attack speed. Okay. Yeah, attack speed isn't going to impact that. So I can do that. Except. And then dump it into these other things. So if I do that, for example, that lightning is hitting me hard. So yeah, do that. Sure. That actually looks like that might be powerful.
No room for that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, wrong button. There we go. Okay. One thing that will also prove interesting with that acquisition is there are reasons why there are people who will never subscribe to Netflix, will never give them money. I wonder if any of them might be influenced now. Because maybe they really like HBO. Maybe they feel HBO is necessary because, what is it, Sesame Street is HBO now? Is only on HBO? It might be like, oh, well, have to. Although, it is possible they, well, no. You know, Netflix wouldn't want to bifurcate themselves between Netflix and HBO brand. That'd be dangerous for them. It's not like, you know, when Disney purchased Hulu. Because even with Disney Plus, it's still... I mean, yes, they don't want to be competing with themselves, but at the same time, Disney would have seen Disney Plus as a lower tier money maker for them. It's just this day and age, you need to have a streaming service kind of thing. That was interesting. I was actually seeing it go up. Ow. No additional relic? Charm? Whichever that was. I do want to keep playing for a little bit. So I have an idea for that. But I do need to get back, sell stuff first. There. But yeah, so Disney keeping Hulu and Disney Plus separate was a good idea for them for a while.
Okay.
But then ultimately, once it's like, no, we actually own the whole thing, it makes some more sense then to be like, yeah, we're gonna merge them. Though there were people talking about how if they were smart, because the Disney Plus as a brand wasn't that great. It would have been a good idea if they made Hulu more adult content
Admittedly.
and Disney Plus more kids content. I do agree that would have made sense to do. And in theory, Netflix could do something like that. The only problem is that both Netflix and HBO are already established and would have content from children up to adults. So, yeah. $614 versus 1624. can enjoy running through the starting area, in case you were wondering. This was my idea, though. Just come back here. Yeah, we'll see. I just keep Warner Archive around. In fact, maybe even crank it up. It's like maybe have it be that, because Netflix does sell some of their shows on Blu-ray. Why not make it where, you know what, and all of our shows will be available that way. You want to buy it, to have it, to wherever, whenever, here it is. That actually would make sense to go along with their business model. Because then it can also be at the end of the, you watch whatever it is, at the end it can just say, hey, would you like to own this? Press this button to find out how to purchase it. And there's also, it would help them as far as, because as I said, there are people that will never buy Netflix for various reasons. But they might be like, okay, well, yeah, I don't want to buy a subscription, but I heard really good things about this specific show. Okay, I'll buy the Blu-ray of just this. Especially if it were under the Warner label, because then there would be some people that don't even realize that it's still Netflix. So yeah, that actually would be a good business decision for them to do. But it's Hollywood. Good business decisions is not something they've been doing for a long time. And it's like, arguably, you know, Warner should not be sold. I mean, it's like Warner Brothers should be one of those companies that you were having such good business decisions that they're the ones buying other places. That they would buy Netflix. They wouldn't be bought by Netflix. But I don't think anyone in Hollywood really understands the value of IP or back catalogs. Was it here? Was it somewhere else I mentioned that what Warner Brothers should have done in the lead up to Superman 2025 is put the prior Superman movies in theaters to build up hype. And it would have worked. It would have worked as a marketing move very well. It would have made them money, especially because those movies are already paid for, right? Well, in theory. There's some weird accounting stuff that Hollywood will do. But, yeah, they're paid off. You're done with the movies. So any money would be just icing on top. It would be a marketing plan that would actually pay for itself instead of, you know, the rough estimate is whatever the cost it was to make a movie, double that, so you include the marketing. But that would have actually been a method that would, a marketing method that would make you money. Because there would be people that, yes, you put Christopher Reeve, Superman movies back in theaters, especially Superman 1 and 2. And definitely if you could have it be the Donner cut even. I did actually watch that a month or two ago. Within the past 2 months at least. Yeah, I see how that's a better movie. I really do. Anyway, you do that. Oh yeah, one reason why I can believe they wouldn't have wanted to do it is I would have found they would make more money from those movies in theaters than the new movie, but still, it would have made them money. Theaters probably would have loved it as well, especially if they were given more favorable terms as far as how much money they get to keep. Because I mean, they're the ones that have to, you know, pay employees at that point, not the studios. So yeah, I mean that would have been great, but I could believe that there would have been people at Warner Brothers that if you would even suggest that to would have been like, no, why? Because I don't like the idea. It's like, but it's a good idea. Well, I don't like it. It's like it's a way to make money off of your own marketing for a movie that should then make you more money. And it's like, no. I mean, I don't think that they understand the value of their back catalog. But maybe Netflix will. I don't know. There's something else I should do. Okay, when I get to the next waypoint, I will be stopping, but there's one thing I will do first. I will up the level, the enemy level, just apply probably a +2 modifier. Can do that via the shrine, so that way I'm earning experience a bit faster. One thing, continuing with the whole Superman stuff, is what will happen with the new Gunverse, now that Netflix has control. Well, once Netflix has control, will they decide to abandon that? Because that new Superman movie was not good. It had, on its own, just many issues, but I'm pretty sure its box office did not do well. It did not make much money. So will they shelve that? Oh, goody. Got another. Is it a relic? I can never remember. Ailment duration. Still cold damage improvement though.
I'm carrying too much.
Oh, that's okay. It's a white anyway. Oh, that's true. I can sell stuff up there. Nope, that was also yellow. There's that. There. But yeah, Hollywood is not in a good place. And this is not a sign of it improving. And there's also one thing that I've seen talked about that is a valid point. Well, okay. This might be something that, well, we'll see. Netflix has not been that interested in doing studio releases.
How do we get protecting this merchant again?
Well, sorry, studio releases, theater releases, I mean. Why would they? They're a streaming platform. Except when it is beneficial to them as far as, you know, like trying to get something nominated for Oscars and such. You do need something to be in theaters for that. Wait, what do I think? Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, I guess. Try to exterminate these spiders here. But when with Disney purchasing Fox, you saw a drop in the number of movies being made each year because, well, you know, Fox had to make their own movies because that's how they were making money, that's how they competed. But with Disney buying Fox, then that meant that there was no longer that competitor, so there was no need for those additional movies. So instead of it going to a Disney plus Fox schedule, it stayed just the Disney schedule. You lost the Fox schedule for movie releases, and it is what's going to happen now? Just fewer movies in theaters, which means theaters are in greater danger of closing down, which is not a good thing at all for the industry. Because with them closing down, I'm just trying to think of the best way to put this. Hollywood cannot survive without the theaters, and theaters obviously do need Hollywood as well. It is a symbiotic relationship. But if they disappear, Because Hollywood is not doing anything to help the theaters, it seems. Has the game crashed again? I did click out, so it might just be upset that I did that. Because, I mean, it's also... The image you're seeing is not the image I'm seeing. You're seeing the menu still. I'm not. I'm seeing the loading screen. Yeah, this does not seem to be the happiest of, Oh, now it changed. There we go. Okay. And click out. So, yeah, it's... And part of that is because of streaming as well, that there are people in Hollywood that probably think, oh, well, we'll just make the money from streaming. It's like, you don't make that much money from streaming. You really don't. Theaters need you. And if the theaters go away, well, so will Hollywood. Because the theater experience, there are movies you want to go and see in a theater. And then there are movies you want to go and see on your own television. Okay, and it's like Lawrence of Arabia, you can watch it on your home television, yeah, but a theater is where you should see that. Because it is that grand a movie, that grand a spectacle. So, yeah, and they're not helping the theaters. And Netflix, they need to stay active with the theaters. Well, Warner needs to stay active with the theaters. Netflix needs to do this now as well. So, yeah, it's... Oh, jeez. But it's also, if the theaters were to die out, and so then it's basically everything is streaming, that's incredibly dangerous, because it means then that in order to watch a movie, you need to have your... Well, most people would pay for their own electricity, but you also then need the internet connection. You need the hardware for it, potentially. Whether it's a television with the stuff built in or some special stick. But you also need to pay for the subscription. And a lot of people would probably be like, but it's lousy, why would I watch it? And it would also see a push towards just drivel, just slop from Hollywood, because why would they need to put on? It would cease to be here's something that we want it to be such a spectacle that people will pay money to come and see it in a theater. Instead, it's they're already paying us because it's a subscription. We don't need them to find that one thing that, oh my God, this is so amazing. We just need them to hit buttons and, well, they don't even need them to hit buttons. But, just hit some buttons to have something come up. They just need content. Right? I mean, Netflix is one that, when you think about it, their original business model, I don't know about today, but the just streaming model would make sense for today's risk of just AI slop generation from movies. You could do that. Because it's just have content up there. Not good content necessarily, just content. So yeah, it's hard to... There are decisions Netflix could make that would be good decisions here. There are decisions Netflix could make that would be bad decisions here. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Alright, that is enough of my talking. See you next week when I'll... it'll depend if I start a new character next week, so we can see the Forge character or not. That in part will depend on how I'm feeling next week, but also if I've spent the time to start up a new character and see how Forge is, because I have many other things that are taking my time, so I can't promise I will be able to prepare for it. All right, see you next time.